Hi everybody, I'm Michael. I'm a landscape architect and environmentalist, and today we're going to be talking about the elephant bush and how you can grow it down here in South Florida. So, you ready to dig in? Let's grow! So before we get talking about the elephant bush, I just want to say thank you to all the folks who have subscribed to our channel, and for those who haven't, we would encourage you to do so. We're trying to get as many helpful plant care videos out to you and your families. So, back to the elephant bush. This plant goes by the botanical name Portulacaria afra, and it is native to Africa, the eastern parts of Africa and other regions within Africa. It likes to hang out in rocky crags, and that's its normal area of growth. But it gets the common name because elephants tend to like to eat the leaves, which is kind of cool. Elephant bush. That's how the common name was supposedly derived. It is a succulent. It does look kind of like the jade plant. It looks like much smaller leaves, and we'll zoom in so you can see these up close. But this is a very, very tough plant. This is our mama here, and she, just from cuttings, made this plant, two other plants off screen, another one back there, and it is so easy to propagate this plant. And we'll be doing a propagation video for this plant, so stay tuned to our channel to look out for that one. These are super easy, again, super easy to propagate. It tends to want to trail, which gives it this bonsai feel, and you can see how I raised this one here, and how she's just sort of hanging over there, over the edges. They do want to trail, so they'll form more or less a kind of a flatter top, and then cascade over to speak to their character, their growth characteristics. It's best to put these in full sun or part sun. These are desert condition loving plants, super drought tolerant, and they like a lot of light. So we have ours, and obviously we're growing ours on a balcony here. So we have ours growing in on a northwest and actually on the north side, but we're on a corner unit, so we're getting light in the afternoon, even on the north side a little bit. So they tend to want to have more bright full sunlight, but can handle being planted under a palm tree or some other trees if you so choose to do that in your garden. But we've grown all of ours in a container, and they do extremely well on a balcony. They're one of the toughest plants we've had. We've had these for years. And we spoke to lighting, to speak to soil type, being that it's a succulent, you want a cactus soil. And we'll give you a profile at the end of this video, written care instructions, and we'll go into the details on that. But you want a well-drained mix for your plant. You don't want, this plant doesn't want to get soggy feet. So you want a good cactus mix, but they're not really picky. I mean, mommy here, I think I changed the potting mix. This is, I want to say this is 4 years or longer now. 4 or 5 years she's been growing for us. And we did more of a potting mix with perlite, but we didn't add cactus, and she's just done great. But they tend to do better with a cactus mix. So again, we'll give you that soil profile at the tail end of our video and the written care instructions. So for now that we talked about soil, let's talk about watering. Your elephant bush will want to be watered between 8 and 10 days. Now, there's a caveat I'm going to throw out here to you. A caveat. If you have them growing in a terracotta pot, ours are all in glazed pots, so the glazed pots don't dry out as fast as a pure terracotta pot. But if you have your elephant bush growing in a terracotta pot, you may need to water them every 7 days. Now in the summer, you get so many rains down here in South Florida, you can just watch them and see it. But the main takeaway I want you to have for this whole video on caring for your elephant bush is that you give them plenty of light, and that you don't overwater them. They don't want to be overwatered. All of your containers should have a drain hole in them. So this is just on display, but there's a drain hole in each one of these with a catch reservoir underneath, a saucer underneath. But so 8 to 10 days on average. But always check your plant using the 1 knuckle, 2 knuckle method we've been telling you about. Stick your finger down into the soil, And if it comes back really dry or with hardly any dirt on your finger, you know it's still dry. I mean, you know it's dry enough that you can water. But go by that guide, 8 to 10 days. For temperature, you want to make sure you don't go below 50 degrees. These don't like that. But they can handle it. Pockets of a cold snap coming through there. They definitely don't want to do well with a freeze. You're probably going to lose your plants if you get a hard freeze. So that's, again, this is where this plant goes back into where it wants to grow, probably in zones 10 and 11. That's where it does ideally thrives, but it can grow in 9b. It's just that you got to be careful of those cold snaps if you have them growing in a container. They make excellent plants for a balcony. I just love this plant. It's so cool. Low maintenance. Doesn't really speak to pests now. It doesn't really have many pests. You need to be on the lookout for the cast of terrible characters that we always talk about here on our channel. Mealybugs, spider mites, aphids. These don't really get whitefly, but it's those other three that you have to just be on the lookout for. But we haven't really had hardly any infestations in all the years we've had these. So I think I've talked about most of them. Yeah, I think I've talked about most, but I forgot one. Let me talk about fertilizer. You can fertilize these plants from April through October. Down here, we're in Miami, which is zone 10. Or you don't have to. These are that tough. So I always like to, just because they're out on a balcony and the winds and everything like that, and they're in a container, I like to do a fertilizer. You just want a typical Jack's 20-20-20 liquid fertilizer, and you can add it every other time you water, from April through October, and they'll respond handsomely to it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rotate over into the written care instructions that I mentioned and go over this in detail for you. You can take a screenshot and you can keep that for your records and refer back to it, and then we'll just do a quick summary at the end. All right, let's go on to that step. I hope that was helpful for you all, and if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comment box below, and I'll make sure I get back to you. And until next time, see you later!
If you found value in this video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. We post weekly. Thanks!